Hey everybody, it's Mike here. The other half of Mike and Angel.Diamonds, team free in 3. So, I know I said I wasn't going to do any more videos probably behind the steering wheel, but here I am. You know what? Just too much on my mind here. I want to put this stuff out real fast. So, I'll call this Mike's Quickies. Mike's Quickies. All right, check it out. You know what? When a new distributor is introduced on a team page, whether it's Rap Attack, I'm a 10, team free in 3, whatever your team is out there, whenever a new distributor is introduced, I got to tell you, one thing that irks me is when people don't comment. Liking is not enough. Everybody should like it, but every time that you see a new distributor introduced, for the love of God, you could at least say, welcome. Just type in those little letters, W-E-L-C-O-M-E, maybe a little exclamation point, just welcome. You know what? Maybe some of you, when you got in, maybe it wasn't done for you. I don't know. But if it was, you know what it's like. Come on. Nobody makes a post out here in Facebook land or social media land and never thinks about, if anyone's going to like it or not. You need to like it. All right? I mean, whether you mean it or not, and you should mean it because it's a people business, but when someone gets in and we post on there, welcome so-and-so to the team, every single person on that team page, whether you're building this business or not, needs to like it. And the bottom line is, I can only speak for team free in 3. Those that are not really interacting with the team, it's no big deal. It's your business, but we're getting ready to clean house and go ahead and get some of those people off the team page and pretty much just keep the ones that are interacting. That's just what team free in 3 is going to do. It's nothing personal. It's nothing bad, but no sense in blowing up your feed. And by the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but the admins on the pages, so when we post any kind of post, we can see who has seen the post. Did you know that? We can actually see who has seen it. So it's really heartbreaking to me when we say welcome, new distributor, whatever, and I see 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 people see the post, but we get 5 comments and 12 likes. To me, that's not acceptable. All right, another quickie, realistic commission expectations. So, people just got, paid, the ones that got paid. And I just love it when people get upset and they go, well, I'm a Ruby and I didn't make as much money as I thought, whatever. Look, folks, when you look at the average annual commissions, those are average annual commissions. Doesn't mean that as soon as you become a Ruby or an Emerald or a Diamond, you're going to make what that average commission is. I would say you're what's called a low Ruby. You're a low Emerald. You can even become a Diamond and be a low Diamond. Doesn't mean you're going to make what the average makes. Folks, you got to put some work into this. Now, we tell everybody that you don't have to work hard, and look, this is not hard work. It cracks me up. I can tell you what hard work is. This is not hard work. So you get into It Works, you make it to Ruby or make it to Emerald, and then you're going to bitch and moan about your commission because it was only $130 and your volume was 700. Come on, folks. You got to use some common sense. Look at the volume. Get educated. That's why it takes growth in this business. And it's okay. You can gripe a little bit about it. That's why I have an upline to kind of educate you and say, this is the deal. The problem comes in when people quit because they're like, this is a bunch of crap. I put in a bunch of hours last month and I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that and my commission's not good enough. I got news for you. You're lying to yourself. You think you're doing a lot of work, but you're not. All right? Trust me, you don't know what work is yet. If you're sitting at the Ruby level, Emerald level, or even the Diamond level, and you have some kind of thought process that you should be getting paid 10 times what you're getting paid. You get paid based on volume. You get paid based on how large your network is. You get paid based on all of the bonuses you get as you get promoted up. Folks, we've said it a million times. Hang in there. Quit worrying about the stupid commission right now. The money's going to come. Stop worrying about the commission, all right? Now, another quickie. Sell with compassion. Now, you might be saying, wait a second, Mike, this coming from the guy that chews our asses every time he does a video. Look, first of all, I'm not chewing your ass. I do it out of love. All right, so listen. Sell with compassion. I saw a post the other day, not trying to pick on anybody. The whole welfare thing came up. And look, people, there are folks out there on welfare. There are folks out there that are quite frankly broke. There are some that are destitute. All right. There are some people out there that have bad health issues and are dealing with, lots of problems. Look, folks, I own a gym. I could sit here just as easily and look at people that are overweight and judge every person out there and say, why are you overweight? Why are you making excuses? Why are you not in better shape? Why are you not healthier? Huh? Why aren't you? Why are you not healthier? I could do that. I could sit here and yell at you all day and make little posts to you saying, you're just making excuses. That's your problem. You're just making a bunch of excuses. You know what you're thinking? You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through. And you're right. I don't. That's why I don't make all those judgments. I don't. If you come to me and say, Mike, I want help with my health. I want to lose weight. Is there something you can do that will help me in my situation? Oh, well, that's a different story. Now we can be friends. I can work with someone and I can actually love and help them. But this mess about going out here and just dogging somebody out saying, oh, you're just making a bunch of excuses. Nobody needs to be on welfare. Look, folks, I'm a conservative. Me of all people. Look, one of the traits of self-made millionaires is they don't want help from anybody. They want to do it themselves. But I got news for you. Folks, that's not everybody in the world. That's not everybody in the country. That's not everybody in your Facebook friends list. That's not everybody in your neighborhood. That's not everybody you're going to blitz. You got it? So you've got to learn how to talk to people with compassion. You don't sell based on you're an idiot, you're making excuses. That's not how you sell. Now, once you're in the door and you're growing a business, oh, no. It's my job now as a leader, and you're never supposed to call yourself a leader. It's my job now to tell you, stop with the excuses. Because I make them, you make them, we all make them. But you got to stop with it, okay? So don't tell people it's because you're making excuses, that you're never going to get in this and you're living on welfare. You got to help them overcome their limitations. That's how Angie does it. Angie says, I understand you have a limitation right now. You're on welfare for whatever the reason is. And the good news is that there's a way that you could possibly get out of that if you want to. You have to make it their decision, not yours. If it was our decision, everybody would be a DT, everybody would auto ship, everybody would be at green carpet, everybody would be at conference. Hell, we have distributors and DT, we have distributors and people in this business that are even diamonds and above that still come up with every excuse in the world not to go to green carpet. Huh? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. You're going to sit there and jump down somebody's throat as to why they're making excuses about not being a DT, and your own butt makes up excuses why you can't go to One Team, One Mission. You can't go to green carpet. You can't make it to conference because of every little problem in the world. And guess what, folks? I got news for you. They're all excuses. Every single one of them. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care how much money you got. It's all excuses. Understand? So sell with compassion. All right? Help people overcome their situation. That's how you pull people to you. That's how you draw them in. Have a magnetic personality. People want to be with you. And if they want to be with you, then they will grow. But if you're just saying you're an idiot, you're making excuses, that's why you're never going to get in and start your own business, they're never going to start their own business. Show people how to overcome their limitations. All right. You join the club, but you're not yet in the club. Some of you are sitting at the distributor level, executive level, and you're running around acting like, you're ambassador. Now, don't get me wrong. You need to think and dream big. You need to dream big. That's where you need to be. But don't be the compliance police. Don't be out here jumping on people everywhere. If someone's truly hurting our business, something needs to be done about it. But some of you deliberately look for people out there. That doesn't make you money. That doesn't make you money. Focus. You can go on eBay right now and find 500 ads for wraps for sale. I could care less. The people I'm talking to, the people we're going after, they don't know about eBay. They don't give a crap about eBay. And if they find it, I'll tell them the deal then. But I'm not going after anybody for that mess. It's a waste of your time. Focus, all right? Focus. You joined the club, but you're not in the club yet. Did you know there was just a diamond leader call? There was just a diamond leader call. Guess what? You got to be a diamond to be on the call. All right? Diamond and above. Double diamonds and above have certain things they do. Presidential diamond and above have certain things that they do. Until you get to ambassador and above, guess what? We're not in the club. You know where Angie and I want to be? We want to be in that club. We want to jump up there and be in the top 10%. All right. And the fact of the matter is the ambassadors are less than, I think, 0.5% in this company. But you should want to strive to be in the top 10%. That's where it's at. That's where the respect is. And every time you make excuses and you gripe about things and you come up with every reason in the world why you can't do it, that doesn't earn you respect. That doesn't earn you anything. That's when people say, you know what? I don't have time to be around that. I'm not saying your problems aren't real. That's not the point. But your problems in life are not the reason you're not successful. They are not the reason why. The reason why you're not successful is because you're letting those excuses keep you from success. Look, I got news for you. Again, another trait of self-made millionaires. The fact of the matter is, if every excuse you come up with why you can't do something, you have to sit back and think, are there people on this planet that have had it worse than me? I mean, way worse than me, dealing with dreaded diseases. They came over on a boat from another country with $10 in their pocket, all right? And all of a sudden they became self-made millionaires. Come on. If there are people on this planet that have had it worse than you, and yet they're more successful than you know what that means? That means you're spoiled. That means, folks, that your excuses are invalid. That's what that means. Because everything is an excuse. Everything. Winners don't find excuses. Winners find a way. You push through it. You want to be in the top 10%, folks. That's where it's at. Anything less is unacceptable. Doesn't mean you're a loser. Just means you're not in the top 10%. You know how it is when you work a job. If you're not the man or the woman at the job, basically, you might walk in one day and not have a job. And they're basically saying, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. All right? It's just the way it is. You got to get to the top 10%. Your store is open all the time, folks. Successful distributors, their store is open all the time. This doesn't mean you have a website. That means you hear people say it all the time. I saw some posts today. If your mouth is closed, so is your business. Here's the problem. If you're serious about this, and I'm only talking to the distributors that are wanting to be financially free, the ones that say, I gotta have this. You say it, but you don't mean it. Here's the deal. We own a gym, you know that. But what if I just decided to open the gym on Monday, and then I kind of didn't open it for 2 or 3 days, and then I opened it on Thursday, and then I shut it down on Friday? Hell, I took a week off and came back a week later and opened it. How many members do you think we'd have in that gym? How many people do you think would stay around? Let me see. Let me think about it. None. Not any. You know why? Because the store has to be open all the time. It has to be open when you say it's open. You can't just plug in for a day or two and then step out for 3 or 4 days. Oh, well, I'm tired. I'm busy. My kids are on my nerves. I've worked too long. That's the reason why you got to stay plugged in, folks. You got to stay plugged in for those reasons all the time. And look, if you've recruited one distributor, you have an obligation to that distributor. You're supposed to be there for them. Don't depend on your upline to be there for them. That doesn't mean you boss them around. They already have a boss. They don't need a boss. That's for you to help them. Help them. H-E-L-P. It's not the same as boss. Help them out, okay? Your store has to be open, folks, all the time. All right? Don't be open today and closed tomorrow and closed for a week and then open for a week and then closed again. Open all the time. You want to take a day off? Take a day off. Angie and I do. We take 1 day off. And even then, it's not a full day. Take 1 day off, work 6. Listen, everybody, you got to work when no one's looking. You know that little romantic saying, you gotta love and laugh and dance and all that, whatever stuff when nobody's looking? Well, guess what? You got to work when no one's looking. You got to be excited when no one's looking. You got to believe in this business when no one's looking. You got to chart when no one's looking. Angie's right now probably in her underwear at the house charting as we speak. You know, and I hope nobody's looking. Anyway, you got to do that stuff when no one's looking. You got to listen. You got to listen to motivational CDs when no one's looking. You know what? I could, let me see. I'm going to put it in right now. I have a disc right now in the CD player. Let's see. Let me eject it.
Very powerful.
You have to listen to motivational CDs all the time when nobody's looking. You got to listen to them all the time. All right? I really messed that up. I was trying to pull the CD out and show it to you. You know, I got Brian Tracy right now playing in the CD player. When Angie and I drive around, Angie actually is getting ready to go across town to do some work. And guess what? She just messaged me and said, I'm listening to a new CD. All right? That's what we do. You got to educate yourself. You got to read, all right, to learn when no one is looking. Folks, you got to blitz, rap, and repeat when no one's looking. It's build your own business time, folks. Build your own business. Plug into the upline for help, but take some steps. Take some action. Get out on your own. Don't be afraid. You can't mess this up. You cannot mess this up. I promise you. You can do some uncompliant things, yes, but you're not going to do that. All right? Blitz, wrap, repeat. Tell people about the business. Sign up LCs. Stop making excuses. That's the bottom line. Get out of your own way and stop making excuses, okay? All right, that's my 15-minute video for the day. Again, I'm never here to insult anybody. I'm here to help people, all right? Let's grow, and Angie and I will see everybody here at the top and on the beach. Boom!